This is the second video for Math 20, Lesson 1.4. We're finding sums of geometric series. So again, we're being asked to find the sum of a series. In this case, they didn't tell us in the question that it's geometric, but hopefully even just at a quick glance, we could see that this is multiplying by a common ratio, not subtracting a same amount every time. So if you divide 9 by 27 or 3 by 9, you get a common ratio, which is a third. We're going to need to know that. Now notice we don't know how many terms this is. We could, by trial and error, figure it out, multiply by a third over and over and over until we got to that final term, which would allow us to use the formula we used in the last question. But notice we need n to use this particular formula. The other geometric series formula doesn't require n. And so I don't actually have to do what I just said there. As long as I have the ratio, which we just said, as long as I have the last term I'm adding and the first term I'm adding, I can use this particular formula here. So it sets up perfectly for this question. If I say, okay, Sn equals Rtn minus T1 over R minus 1. For this question, the numbers are a little ugly. The ratio is a third. The final term we're adding is 1 over 243. The first term in the series is 27, and the ratio is a third again on the bottom. So you better be careful with your order of operations. We're going to want to multiply those top numbers together before we subtract 27. We also need to carry out the operations in the numerator and the denominator separately as if they were their own separate little questions before we start trying to divide top by bottom. I've chosen to stick with fractions. Calculator can handle it, so just obviously these numbers are calculator kind of numbers. Dividing that gross fraction on top by negative 2/3, I got a fraction that is this, and that would be an exact value answer. If we were approximating it to some number of decimals, we'd have to round it off because it is a decimal that keeps going on. So it's about 40 and a half, 40.4979, 40.5, something like that would be an acceptable answer depending on how the question was asked. But exact value, best answer right there, 9,841 over 243.